So I just want to do a really quick video on finance, what you should be doing with your money right now. I did a video on credit cards, Credit Card 101. If you have not watched that video and you're trying to build your credit, it would be a great tool for you to watch and see how you can apply it to your life and how you can build your own credit. Right now, we are in a position of uncertainty. People don't know what's going to happen. People are out of jobs. People are being laid off. You just don't know. So what you want to do right now is prepare and save. Here are a few tips that I'm going to give you that will help you do those very things. The first thing is save, save, save as much as you can. I know that sounds simple, but there's so many ways to save that will give you a return on your savings. You can look into high interest, high yield savings accounts. A few banks do offer high yield savings accounts where they'll give you up to 1.7% back on what you put into your savings after a year. Some banks have 1.3, 1.5, but if you can find something that's 1.7 or higher, that's great because it would be more money for you in the long run after a year. Save your stimulus check. So I know a lot of people thought that the stimulus money was meant for you to re-stimulate the economy, go out and buy stuff and do stuff. That money is actually meant to give you security to go into your emergency fund so you're able to pay your rent, pay your bills when everything goes down, or if this goes further and if there's nothing, you have no money, you have that stimulus check. Save that check. If you don't have an emergency fund, this is the time to start building one. You should have probably already built one, but if not, don't be afraid. Just start now. And that stimulus check is a great starting for an emergency fund. Again, that high yield savings account can double that money after a year. Not double, but it can grow that money after a year. I'm sorry. Anything else that you can save, you cut back on subscriptions. That brings me to my next point. Cut back on any subscriptions that you have. I know some people have double music subscriptions. If you have more than one music service, stream it down to one. If you have cable, look into cutting out cable and maybe paying for a streaming service because the streaming services are so cheap. Netflix is $8, Hulu is $8, things of that nature. You can still be entertained during a time like this and save a lot of money. Cut back on any memberships that you're not using at the time, yoga memberships, gym memberships. Many of us are working inside our homes, working out inside of our homes, and it's actually working out pretty well if you ask me. Like, I don't even know if I'll join anything after this because I've been doing so well with what I'm doing here at home. So again, cut out those gym memberships. A lot of them are offering cancellations, free cancellations or cancellations for small fees. In the long run, it's going to save you because you're not paying that money over time. And just go through all of your finances. See whatever auto debited payments that you have going on that you can possibly cut out. If any of you have student loans, I do know that the student loan companies are offering 6-month forbearance periods. I would say take advantage of that if you can. Be careful with the word forbearance with other things like your car notes and things of that nature. You're still going to owe that money in the end. There's a common misconception about forbearance. People get excited when they hear the word. They're like, oh my God, forbearance, I can do this, I can do that. I don't have to pay, da da da. You still have to pay it in the end. That money is going to be there in the end. So if you are in a position right now to continue paying on something that you don't need, like, you need your car. So if you are in a position to continue paying, I would say continue to pay that because in the long run, you're still going to owe that money in the end and it's only going to make your debt higher. It's going to increase your balance in the end. That rolls me into my next point. Build your credit. Now is a time, if you don't have credit or you have bad credit, now is the time for you to build that credit. Is more crucial than ever because if you start now, within a year, you will be miles ahead of where you are right now. Okay, don't be afraid or don't feel like, oh, I don't have a 700 or 800 credit score. Start now because in a year's time, if things bottom out and it's going to be harder to get loans, harder to buy homes, whatever the case may be, you'll be in a good position where a bank can look at your credit and say, okay, this person has good credit. I trust them. It'll be easier for you to get approved for things that you may need to get approved for later on. That rolls me into my next point, credit card debt. Please start paying down on that credit card debt. That goes into you working on your credit. And my last point, if you're not in a position to start paying down that credit card debt, that's fine, no pressure. Only pay down the debt if you're in a secure position. You have one of those occupations that are still going right now, your income is still coming, then I would say yes, start paying down some of that credit card debt. If not, it's not something that you need to think about right now. Obviously, you need to pool your resources in more immediate things, but if you are in that position, I would say pay that debt down because again, you want to repair your credit, you want to fix your credit, you want to make sure you have good credit. Now's a great time to start because again, in 1 year's time, a year from now, you'll be in a better position than you are now and you'll have more flexibility. We all know that in America, everything is based on credit. You're not worth anything if you don't have good credit because you can't get anything. Can't qualify for a home, qualify for a car, whatever it is that you think you may need or you never know. Something may happen where you need a new car, you need a home. Next thing is start selling things that you don't need or don't use. That means going through your closet. Apps like Poshmark are really good apps for you to sell items that you haven't worn or used in a long time. Clothing, accessories, and shoes are the main things that are sold on Poshmark. Poshmark has worked out really well for me. Set yourself a goal. Tell yourself, manifest it. Physically say it and allow it to manifest in your brain, in the universe, in your surroundings. I'm going to sell $100 worth of products, or I'm going to make $100 every month on Poshmark for the next 9 months, or whatever the case may be. Set your intentions, set your goals, say them out loud, and allow them to manifest. Look into other apps such as eBay, just anything that you're not using around the house. Some of you might be sneakerheads. You could be selling sneakers on eBay. Just start getting creative about what you can sell, because right now is the time that you need to be acting like the squirrel, gathering nuts, and just looking into other streams of income. The last thing is grow a garden. So if any of you have patios, backyards, balconies, some fruits and vegetables can be grown indoors. Start looking into growing a garden. A couple of weeks ago, I bought a couple of onions, and I didn't use all that was in the bag, and they started growing these green things out of it. So they started growing green onions, and I've been using the green onions from that onion since this all started. I haven't bought any onions since this whole thing started, and I was surprised to look online to see how easy it was to grow like simple vegetables in your home. So start looking into that. Save on any kind of groceries that you can. Start couponing, doing those things to help you save money in the long run. I don't know if you guys have been looking at your accounts, but I have been spending so little money, just not having been going out and doing all these things I used to do. So if you can save even more, especially with a necessity like groceries, that would be very ideal in a time like this. All right, so that's it. I hope that these tips and tricks serve you well. Please comment below. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know if these tips are helpful too, if you're already doing some of these things. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.